took a note before the pen touched the page, before the booth, before the stage, before the ink or the rage. That whatever left my mouth would carry weight like architecture. That every syllable would function as a living sector of something larger than my ego and my personal agenda. That the culture I was handed, I would honor and engender with the kind of care and craftsman brings us something that will last beyond the trends, the algorithms, and the temporary fast fashion of the moment. I was built for the long haul. They make music for the week, and I am making for the wall, the permanent record, for the archive and the elder, for the kid who ain't been born yet. Needed someone who can tell her that the art form has a standard, that don't bend for what is easy, that the compromise of genius is the thing that makes me queasy. So I took the oath before the cameras and the clout to keep the cipher honest, even when the profits dry out. I swore on the culture that I never let it down, that every verse I bring will be the realest thing around. The oath is older than the money and the name. The cipher stays the same. That's the oath, that's the game. I swore on the culture that I never let it down, that every verse I bring will be the realest thing around. The oath is older than the money and the name. The cipher stays the same. That's the oath, that's the game. 5 volumes in, and every page a different lesson. Learn about the distance between good and great. That gap was earned through the records that I studied and the masters that I watched move through language like a surgeon. Nothing wasted, nothing botched. RAKIM told me that the economy of words is more powerful than quantity. The sonnets between thirds of a bar can hold more meaning than the note that fills it up. The measure paused to know and looked that deliberately kept cup of restraint. Jay taught me that the street and the astute can coexist, that hunger is the root of everything we're building, that the grind precedes the throne, that a king without a struggle built his kingdom on a loan. From it taught me that the sample is a portal and a bridge between the music of our elders and the genius on the ridge. Or something new, I carry all of them, and how I hold the pen before the first word comes, I take the oath again. I swore on the culture that I never let it down, that every verse I bring will be the realest thing around. The oath is older than the money and the name. The cipher stays the same. That's the oath, that's the game. I swore on the culture that I never let it down, that every verse I bring will be the realest thing around. The oath is older than the money and the name. The cipher stays the same. That's the oath, that's the game. Before the throne you gotta earn the floor. Before the throne you gotta earn the floor. The oath don't ask for fame, it asks for more. Ask for more, ask for more. Now let the record show I'm standing at the mic in Vol 6. 5 rounds of evolution, every round I fix. The places where the craft was off the hooks to miss the bone. The verses that were good, but good ain't what you build alone. A legacy from, so I return to every flaw. Dismantled every weakness till I understood the law of great music. It must move you physically and deep. It must become the thing you reach for when you cannot sleep. Must become the anthem for the moment you most need. To hear that someone else was in the fire and didn't bleed out completely. That the pressure turned to something worth the pain. That the arc of all this living bends was something that remains. I take the oath each morning before karma takes the wheel. The cipher souls will always give the people something real. Not perfect, real and perfect, real beats perfect fake. Every time the oath is what the oath was built to make. Before the paper, before the pen. The oath. Yeah. Fire is what warms you and what burns you. Frequency is what you choose to tune to. Both of us live in bold. Yeah. Firing, fire. Yeah. I tune my frequency to the channel of the real, where the signal cuts through static like a hunger that you feel in the marrow, not the muscle, in the place below the thought, where the truth lives rent-free in the building that life bought for you when you were 7 on the stoop, with summer heat rising from the asphalt, with the cadence and the beat of the city. Every city got a rhythm, got a voice, got a million little stories that were never given choice to be heard. Above the commas, above the noise, above the trend, I'm the antenna pointed at the frequency that bends toward the human, underneath the hustle, underneath the face. Everybody puts in public just to occupy their space in a world that ain't designed to make you feel like you belong. So the frequency I transmit is you, dude, that's the song. Beneath the wordplay is the simple truth I learned from Pete's drums. The music was always about telling you that someone comes. Oh, fire and frequency, what burns and what connects, what destroys the old and what the rebuild intersects. We've been tuned into each other through the static and the years. Cipher souls on the frequency that cuts through all the fear. Now the fire is a different thing. Respect it or get burned. It's the passion and the anger and the lesson that was earned through the living, through the watching people you love fall, through the comprehending that the system wasn't built for all of us equally, and processing that knowledge in a way that don't calcify the bitterness, don't eat the joy away. Fire in the right hands is the forge, it makes the blade. In the wrong hands, fire is the home invasion and the rage. The line between the rage that builds and rage that just destroys is the frequency attuned to when the static fills the noise. I've been shaped by both, by fire that created and consumed. I've been in the furnace and I stood inside the fume of my own burning. And emerged with something new on the other side. A different frequency, the one where truth and craft collide into music. That's the alchemy, the golden era new. Fire plus frequency plus honesty equals something true. Frequency, what burns and what connects, what destroys the old and what the rebuild intersects. We've been tuned into each other through the static and the years. Cipher souls on the frequency that cuts through all the fear. I think about the voices that got lost before they broadcast, the frequencies that faded in the middle of the forecast of a life that had potential like a signal in the dark. Every funeral I've been to was a station off the air, a frequency I needed gone before I knew to care. But with specific signals, so I catalog them all. Every frequency that's silent gets a verse inside this hall of records. This is Cipher Souls. We archive what is gone. We make sure every frequency that matter carries on in some form in these songs. The fire of the living meets the frequency of the lost and the art of the giving back. So tune in not just for yourself, but for the ones who never got to broadcast. You're their frequency now, son. Turn the volume up. The signal gotta carry far. Woo! Fire and frequency, that's what Cipher souls are. Fire. Fire. Fire.
My grandfather used to say, the river knows where it's going before it gets there. I didn't understand it at 14. I do now. The river don't ask permissions for the path it's meant to take. It finds its way around the obstacle. It bends but doesn't break permanently. It carves a new direction, reshapes the stone. The river understands that it was never meant to move alone. It feeds into a larger body. That body feeds the seed of something in that architecture that was always speaking to me about the way a life is meant to flow. Not forced, but find a channel that was shaped by something deeper than the mind can access. Call it purpose, call it God, call it your name. The river calls it nothing, it just moves and stays the same in this essential nature. Even when the banks restrict, even when the drought comes, the river finds its trick of going underground if necessary, living out of sight until the conditions change, and then it rises back to light. I've been that river many seasons, underground and then emerging. The current always moving even when the surface wasn't working.
What the river knows, I'm still learning to trust. That the path was always there, beneath the confusion and the fuss. The river don't rehearse, it just moves toward the sea. What the river knows is teaching what I'm still trying to be.
I sat with dying men before I looked into the face of someone leaving, and I watched them find a kind of grace that the living don't possess until we're forced into that room where the body says it's finished and the spirit leaves the womb of this existence. Man, it changes you to witness that transition, to understand that everything alive is on a time commission to accomplish what it came for and then pass the work along. I left those rooms a different person, left with a different song in my chest. Less about the glory and the hustle and the climb, more about the quality of presence in the borrowed time. Scarface understood it, wrote the obituary of ambition, how the streets will take you early if you don't make the decision to live for something past the moment, past the paper, past the name. How the river of your life don't care about your claim to fame, it moves regardless. So the question is, what channels are you carving with the living that you do before the tide of time starts starving?
What the river knows, I'm still learning to trust. That the path was always there, beneath the confusion and the fuss. The river don't rehearse, it just moves toward the sea. What the river knows is teaching what I'm still trying to be.
My son asked me last summer what I want to be remembered for. Not my records, not my money, no. Whatever people saw. From the outside looking in, he asked me what I hope they'd say at the particular moment when my river meets the bay. I told him that I moved with intention through the years, that I carved a path through stone and never swallowed other people's fears as my own, that I fed into a larger thing, that the music that I made gave somebody strength to sing when they couldn't find the words themselves, that somewhere in the world a kid who grew up hard the way I did can hear this verse unfurl and feel less alone inside the current that they're riding. That the river of my living pointed toward them before arriving at the sea. I want the path I carved to point somewhere worth going. I want whoever comes behind me to know what I was knowing when I moved through this terrain. The river told me everything. Water always finds a way. That's what the river brings. Rest to every soul who moved the water so we could drink. Seven summers.
You don't know what you're living while you're living it. You just know it's a lie.
Yeah. Summer of '89, we was kings of the concrete. Couldn't see past the block, but the block felt complete. Like everything that mattered lived within a 12-block radius. The world could have been enormous, but our world was just serious. Like close, seriously ours. Every stupid throne room, every cipher in the park, an improvised war room of bars and bragging rights. And who could hold the mic the longest? We ain't had the most, but we was always coming strongest. Wore the same 3 outfits, rotated through the week, but the freshness wasn't fabric. It was something in the speak, in the posture, in the confidence of knowing who you are before the industry could package it and turn it to a scar. That summer was the first one that I understood the gift of nothing but the present tense. No way to what would shift later. Just the now, we're young and hungry and alive. 7 summers that I trade a fortune to revive.
7 summers living like the block was ours to keep.
7 summers on it.
7 summers only. Now I carry them in sleep.
Every face that
summer held is somewhere in me still.
7 summers.
Planted what no winners ever keep.
Yeah. Summer of '93 was when the stakes got introduced. When the consequence of everything we did wasn't abstract, it was juice real. Somebody didn't come home from a corner that we knew, and suddenly the story had a chapter none of us could choose to skip. We had to read it, had to metabolize the weight of what the block can take from you when life negotiates on your behalf without consent. We watched it happen close, and those of us who processed it became somebody's ghost. Right up for the grief, we rapped it out, we cried it out, we ran from it in the basements, in the studios with a plan to turn the unacceptable to something we could hold, something we can hand somebody when the weather turned cold in their chest. That summer I first understood what rap was for. Not entertainment, testimony, evidence, something more than music. A court record of a life the world ignores. 7 summers made me understand what living's for.
7 summers living like the block was ours to keep.
7 summers.
7 summers only. Now I carry them in sleep. Every face that summer held is somewhere in me still.
7 summers.
Planted what no winners ever keep.
Yeah. AZ said it when he said he visualized the supreme. I was 17, not knowing that I was living a dream before I even knew the dream was a thing that could exist.
7 summers on a block,
still the richest I've
ever lived.
Summer of '95 was the last of the 7, when the crew started scattering to different kinds of heaven or its opposite. When choices started branching hard and real, when the fork became the highway and we each had to deal with which lane claimed us. Someone left, some disappeared, some found something beautiful, and some confirmed the fear that the odds were never even in our favor in the first. Some made it out the better, some got swallowed by the worst. I remember standing at the corner of that final August evening, feeling something shift below me, something permanently leaving the particular experience of those specific summers with those specific faces, and the communal hunger for survival and for beauty and for proof that we were here. That summer ended something I've been eulogizing every year since then in music.
Every song I make is for the 7
summers.
Summers that I lived inside before we scattered to our heaven. 7 summers,
still the richest
ever been. 7 summers. 7 summers.
Yeah. 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 Let me pose the contradiction that I live with every day, between the knowledge that the system's rigged and choosing still to play within it, to use the master's tools to renovate the house, while acknowledging the structure was designed to shut us out. The dialectic is, you can't wait for a permission slip from the architect or something built to make you lose your grip, but you also can't pretend the tools don't serve the system's aim, that every dollar through the machine is partially their gain. Caress said it, you must learn, but learning inside was structured. Common said it, used to love her, but love corrupts and ruptures when the thing you love is partly compromised by what it needs to survive commercially. So the dialectic bleeds into everything we build, the cipher and the clout, the authentic in the packaged version they distribute out. I ain't got the answer, but I'm asking in the verse, which is the beginning of the cure for every intellectual curse.
Oh, thesis meets antithesis, where I live and breathe.
The dialectic is the space between
what I want and what I need,
between the system and the soul,
between the coin and the code.
Yeah,
The synthesis is what we build
on the tension
under tension
of that road. But now let me argue the other side with equal force, cause the truth don't live on one side. Let me run the course of the counter argument with the same intensity that I brought the thesis. Intellectual honesty demands I still man what I'm wrestling with before I dismiss. Maybe the participation in the structure is the dialectic in action, the transformation from within. Maybe the pure position outside the game is just a sin of omission, a refusal to get hands dirty in the work of changing what exists while claiming virtue in the hurt. Feelings of the righteous who won't compromise they stance, while the impure are inside actually making something chance to shift. Boogie Down Productions use the major labels reach to get the knowledge to more people than the underground could teach. So maybe the antithesis is pure ain't always right. Sometimes the compromise is what illuminates the fight. Thesis meets antithesis, where I live and breathe. The dialectic is the space between
what I want and what I need.
Between the system and the soul,
Between the coin and the code.
Yeah.
The synthesis is what we build
on the tension
of
that road. The synthesis is neither answer, and it's both at once. You hold a contradiction and you don't become a dunce or a coward for the whole, and the complexity is real. You navigate it case by case with your hand on how you feel and your eye on what the impact is. The question at the center is not am I pure, but did I carry something into enter? The room of power and deposit that I leave behind, a trace of what the culture stands for. Did I redesign even one small corner of the structure that I'm in? If yes, the compromise may have been worth the discipline of tolerating what you cannot fully reconcile. The synthesis is walking the impossible mile between the world that is and what the world is meant to be, with enough grace to keep on moving and enough honesty to never tell yourself the comfortable, convenient lie that you resolve the dialectic. It don't resolve, that's why we keep returning to the cipher, not for answers, but the ask. The synthesis is learning how to live inside the text. The question
Is the answer.
KRS said,
I'm new, you gotta sit with it.
They call it the gospel of the grind like it's a religion. Maybe it is. Maybe that's the problem. I worshiped at the altar of the early morning come up. The hustle was my scripture and the paper was the sun up on a life I was convinced would validate the sacrifice of everything I gave. The grind that had its hidden price. I didn't read the invoice when I signed a deal with hunger. I didn't count the hours that I spent away from wonder, from the ordinary moments that the money couldn't purchase. Back once spent, every milestone only underneath it was a thing I missed to get there. Every dollar had a tax, paid in presents, paid in presents, paid in presents. That's the facts. The gospel of the grind will take your time before you know it, and what it takes you don't get back. The legend's gonna show it. Jay said, can he live? I asked the deeper version, live for what? For the number or the name of something that don't cut off when the season changes, when the market don't need you. I bought everything, but bought myself further from the truth.
The gospel of the grind is real, but so is the invoice. The hustle has a pulpit, but does the hustle have a voice that tells you what you're trading when you give your life to it?
Give your life to it.
The grind is my religion, and the grind is infinite.
Is that the kid?
I wanna leave my children.
Or do I rewrite the creed? Yeah. Ghost told stories of the block, luxury and gritty detail, the Gucci and the trauma and the code you don't retail. Outside the circle, there was always something earned behind the shine, something paid for in the currency that don't get on the line. Item on the balance sheet, Ghosts understood that fully. The stories he was telling weren't flexing, they were truly accounting for the cost. The losses wrapped inside the wins, the texture of a life where the consequence begins. Before the glamour, I've been both sides of that telling. Been the broker and the broken, and I'm still propelling towards something I believe in, past the worship of the grind. The gospel I'm rewriting puts the living first in line. Before the legacy, before the record and the resume, before the morning hustle sacrifices yesterday, for what tomorrow that might never compensate the cost. The gospel of the grind has a chapter on what's lost. The gospel of the grind is real, but so is the invoice. The hustle has a pulpit, but does the hustle have a voice that tells you what you're trading when you give your life to it?
Give your life to it.
The grind is my religion, and the grind is infinite.
Is that the kid?
I wanna leave my children,
Or do I rewrite the creed?
I rewrote the creed at 40, standing in the room of everything I earned inside the silence of the boom and bust of a career. And what I found inside the quiet was that the grind had been a noise, a very productive riot of activity that kept me from the harder conversation with myself about the purpose, past accumulation. The gospel I believe in now is slower and more whole. The work still matters, but the work belongs inside the soul of a larger understanding. I can hustle and be present, I can build and turn the phone off, I can give the lesson of my life without erasing all the life that taught it. The gospel of the grind is real, but I got the edit. Now, grind for something true, and then put down the tools at a time that was agreed with everyone you love. Those rules are the revised testament. J showed me ambition, Go show me the cost. Fall 6 is the revision. The grind is not the gospel.
The living is. They built the culture from the back of the room. They funded the first sessions. They held the babies while the ciphers ran. This is for them. Yeah. She was there before the microphone was pointed her direction, holding down the household while the cipher got perfection from the brothers in the basement. She the reason there's a basement. She negotiated every landlord, every space, and every dollar stretched so thin it almost disappeared. But she stretched it. That's the engineering they don't engineer into the narrative. The woman of the cipher has a name, and her contribution is the structure of the frame that the whole thing hangs on. Every MC who made it had a mother, had a sister, had a woman who created the conditions for the art to grow. The sacrifice of her own ambitions is the actual price of hip-hop. Not the feud to beef the record deal. The uncredited producers of the real deserve the credit they were never given, so I'm giving it. Explicitly, the cipher is for her or none of it. Woman of the cipher, you were always in the center. Even when they put you at the edge, you still remembered how to hold the circle whole. You were the architect. Every cipher soul that's standing here is standing on your neck. No, on your shoulders. Everything you carry, so we could have the room to build. The cipher got you married to this music long before it saw you clearly. Woman of the cipher, the record sees you now, hear me. Lauren showed us what it looked like when a woman took the pen and wrote herself into the center of the story, and then sang the truths that made the brothers have to sit still with their pride and acknowledge what the women in their lives had held inside. Queen Latifah stepped to every stage and claimed the space without apology. She gave the next generation the grace of seeing sovereignty embodied in a woman with the crown, who wasn't asking for the throne because she never put it down. MC Light wrote the architecture of the lyrical stand. standard while the industry was busy with the image that they pandered. The technical precision of a craft, the bars, the tongue, the delivery, she laid foundation when the form was young. These women are the reason that the culture has a soul, not just a sound. They are the spirit that makes the whole body of the music something more than commerce and bravado. The woman of the cipher is the truth behind the motto. Woman of the cipher, always in the center. Even when they put you at the edge, you still remembered how to hold the circle whole. You are the architect. Every cipher soul that's standing here is standing on your neck, no, on your shoulders, everything you carry. So we could have the room to build the cipher. Got you married to this music long before it saw you clearly. Woman of the cipher, the record sees you now, hear me. To every mother who funded the studio time, to every sister who critiqued every rhyme, to every woman who loved someone through the difficult years of becoming. This record is yours before it's anyone else's. Yeah. My daughter asked me once if hip-hop was hers to claim, as something that was made with her in mind. I felt the shame of the honest answer that the image and the narrative was often not constructive for her, not comparative to what she deserves. So I'm constructing this in real time, a tradition that includes her cipher as a lifeline for every girl who loves this music but has been made to feel like an observer in the culture. She is the real center of this thing, the soul that soul music was named for, the human at the core of what the cipher and the cipher's made for. Woman of the cipher, the correction has begun with every song we dedicate, with every daughter and every son who learns that the foundation of this culture has agenda that was overlooked. Vol 6 is the proper sender of a message overdue. The cipher holds your name before it holds any other. Woman of the cipher, you came first. Before the beat, before the beat, before the cloud, before the name. You were there. You were there.
Y'all know what this is. The city of kings don't have a mayor. It has MCs. Let it breathe. Yo, I navigate the narrative with calibrated clarity, carving characters in concrete with comparative rarity. Anyone who came before the bar is architectural. The spectacle of syllables that stack is intellectual. Infrastructure, listen how the rhyme scheme renovates the syntax of the sentence while the pattern permeates. Each bar with triple meaning, catch it slow or catch it fast. I built this verse to live in your head longer than it lasts. In the speaker, every speaker on the block got my philosophy embedded in the base. The methodology of mastery needs nothing wasted. Every word I put in place precisely like a watchmaker. You think it's simple? Look more closely, nicely, and you'll find the mechanism underneath the face. A system of interlocking parts that hold each other's space. That's the city of kings, where only the elite can zone. Big L showed us how to rule the city. Rough from the microphone. City of kings, where the bars of the throne, where the MC with the pen built the palace alone. City of kings, been the standard since day one. Pull up with inferior bars and the cipher is done. City of kings, not geography, it's a standard. The mic is the crown and the verse is the answer. Punchline with precision past the normal. I rupture what's performative and push past the formal limitations of the structure. I reconstruct the sentence, introducing triple syllables as rhythmic repentance. For every bar that's settled, I won't settle for the easy, the phonetically appealing but semantically breezy line that sounds impressive in the moment but holds nothing when the listener returns to it. I'm not about the bluffing. Pun taught me that density is not the same as clutter, that you can stack the syllables and still make something utter, something profound at the core of all the technical display. That the acrobatics of the rhyme scheme isn't just a way to show off. It's a gift to the listener who wants more than the surface of the music, who comes back through the door a second time and third and fourth, and each time finds a room they hadn't been in. That's the city of kings. It's a living monument. City of kings, where the bars of the throne, where the MC with the pen built the palace alone. City of kings, been the standard since day one. Pull up with inferior bars and the cipher is done. City of kings, not geography, it's a standard. The mic is the crown and the verse is the answer. I orchestrate the syntax like a conductor on a podium. The internal mechanism of the verse is the poetry. The footwork
making sure the listener is always in the shiver. Anticipation, can't predict the next move that I'm making, while I'm simultaneously keeping all the structures taking shape around the central argument. The song inside the song, the second meaning running parallel the whole way long. Beneath the first one, Pharaoh showed us that the architecture of a verse could be a labyrinth. The vector of the meaning doesn't have to travel straight, it spirals, and the listener's the traveler. These bars are the vitals of a living organism. City of Kings is earned by those who studied long enough that study in return. The gift of genuine fluency, where it stops being craft and starts being breath. Big Al, Big Pun, Pharaoh, the last verse of this track is a kneeling to the altar of their standard. I built this track and I still feel like an amateur. The City of Kings teaches you how much you still don't know. That humility is what makes it worth going back. Let's go! City of Kings! You know what it costs to get in. I got a box of letters I wrote, but never sent, to people who needed to hear them, to people who can't anymore. This is what's in the box. Dear old man, I never really knew except through absence, which taught me something absence teaches. The presence of the question that you leave behind when you remove yourself from view. I spent a decade being angry, then I grew into the comprehension that the broken get was broken, that the wound you carry isn't always one you've chosen. And I don't excuse the leaving, I just understand it now. It's something done in damage, not in malice, here's the vow I'm making to myself because you're not here to receive it. I will be the father to my children that I needed. Whether you were capable or not, I take the lesson of your absence as the syllabus, and my progression into being something different is the answer to the letter that I wrote you every year. I'm doing better, not because of you and not despite you. Through you, maybe, through the ghost of what I wished for as a baby. Unmailed letters in the box beneath the bed, addressed to everyone I loved and couldn't thread the words to in the moment. Now the words are here, too late for most of them, but not for me to clear the weight of what was unspoken from my chest. The unmailed letter finally gets addressed. Marcus, I think about you every time I hear that album, the one that played the summer you were taking. The cadence and the calm of that music, and the distance between what the song was promising and what the morning brought. I'm still accomplishing the things we said we do, but brother, half of it don't feel like celebration when the other half of it is you not here to witness. I got family, I got progress, I got stages, and I traded toward a walk back through the ages to the summer before everything to sit with you. One more evening in the Cipher and just listen to the city making music in the back of the dark, before the story took the turn that broke us at the start of everything we could have built together. I carry you into every room I enter, and the work I do is half mine and half yours. So when they say my name, they're saying yours too, Marcus. We arrived the same. Unmailed letters in a box beneath the bed, addressed to everyone I loved and couldn't thread the words to in the moment. Now the words are here, too late for most of them, but not for me to clear the weight of what was unspoken from my chest. The unmailed letter finally gets addressed. Dear younger me, I wanna tell you that the fear you carrying right now don't disqualify you. Hear me clear. The The doubt you have about whether you deserve the space you're taking up in every room, go take the space. The doubt is not the truth of you. The truth of you is larger than the version that the circumstance is trying to quarter down into something manageable and small. The world is gonna try to make you choose between the all of what you are and what is comfortable receiving. Give it all anyway. The cost of not believing in yourself at full dimension is a life half lived, and you were born for full. I know it's hard to give yourself that kind of trust when everything around you is a reason to be cautious. But the thing that found you in that cipher in that basement when the bars first came, that was an accident, that was your name. Son, the version of yourself who made it through. P.S. The music saves you. Let it is true. Send the letter before there's no one left to receive it.
There's architecture in the smoke. If you know what you're looking at. I move through mathematics like the cipher is a theorem. The streets of proof requiring evidence to near them. Close enough to see the angle of the argument constructed in the daily dealings. Nothing random, nothing trucked in from outside the system. Everything a function of a cause preceding it. The junction of necessity and circumstance producing what it must. In the algebra of survival, mathematics is the trust we place in pattern. RZA built the system in the dark of a Staten Island basement. There's divinity and spark of something made from nothing. That's the architecture in the smoke that most people walk through without seeing. Every stroke of this pen draws a blueprint for a structure you can stand in. Even when the ground you're building on keeps landing in new positions. I don't build on ground, I build in air. The architecture of the mind survives when nothing's there. Smoke and architecture.
Building in the dark, finding the geometry inside the falling apart.
The blueprint is the cipher and the cipher is the code.
Smoke and architecture.
That's the language of the road. There ain't no poetry in Queensbridge. I'm the poetry in Queensbridge. The difference matters to the nose of me versus the projections that the outside puts on where I'm from. When they make the observation from a comfortable drum roll distance, they hear Queensbridge and they see the tragedy. But I see my grandmother, I see my people naturally. Building beautiful from nothing as a daily discipline that don't ask for recognition from the citizens or somewhere else. We weren't performing for your documentation. We were surviving the architecture of a nation. Built inside a housing project with no blueprint and no grant. Was the most sophisticated engineering in the land. And nobody gave us the award. Mobb Deep gave you the record, the evidence that something real was happening. We checked it off the list of things the outside world would ever value and built it anyway. Smoking architecture.
That's the manual. Smoking architecture.
Building in the dark.
Finding the geometry inside the falling apart.
The blueprint is the cipher and the cipher is the code.
Smoking architecture.
That's the language of the road. Yo, the Wu built the world, the mob documented a real one. Both moves were necessary, the mythological and the still one. Of reporting what the daily actually was. You need both. The vision past the circumstance and the oath to the circumstance. The dreamer and the witness. Both in service of the culture, that's the fitness of the golden era. It held both at once without the tension that the outside force between them, the ascension. In the struggle, both were true. You didn't have to pick the divine mathematics or the gritty politics of the block. You had the chamber and the infamous. One building cathedrals, one bearing witness
to the congregation that the cathedrals were protecting. Cipher Souls Vote 6 is the architecture connecting the two traditions. In the smoke of what we've built, you'll find the blueprint. Look through the beauty and the guilt.
In the smoke.
There's always architecture.
If you're patient enough to look.
The long walk isn't a metaphor. It's what every morning is. You put one foot in front, then the other, with everything you know about the road. Yeah. I take the long walk with the full weight of the history, the victories and the losses and the permanent mystery of what it means to keep on building in a structure that has always held the weight of what can rupture into beauty or into catastrophe, depending on the choices that we make. I'm comprehending the assignment better now than when I started. The walk requires that you stay open-hearted, even when the evidence would recommend a wall. Common taught me that the vulnerability of all of it, the love, the politics, the art, the daily failing is the actual practice. The walk without the veiling of the difficulty is the only walk worth taking. The long walk is a covenant, not a way you're making peace with what is wrong. It's the agreement to keep going toward what's right while fully understanding and full knowing what the distance is between where we are and the arrive. The long walk, everyone who loves this culture knows the past. The long walk, carrying the future and the past. One foot in front of the other through the doubt and the knowing. The long walk, that's the practice. Keep going. Yeah. Talib said it beautifully. The beautiful struggle is the name for what this is. Not hustle, not the juggle of success and failure. The beautiful specific name for people who keep building toward the dignity they claim is owed to every human. The beautiful resistance of persistence in the face of the institution. No insistence that you settle, that you compromise the aspiration down to what the system deems the proper ration of your ambition. The long walk refuses that negotiation. It says the destination is the destination, regardless of the detour. Tally walked through libraries and walked through Bed-Stuy and found the same histories in both. The footnotes, the erase, the overlook, the lost. The long walk is the act of finding them, whatever the cost of energy and time. I'm walking through this album, naming every unseen architect. That's the column I'm building, a pillar of acknowledgement and record. The long walk, everyone who loves this culture knows the past. The long walk, carrying the future and the past. One foot in front of the other through the doubt and the knowing. The long walk, that's the practice. Keep going. The long walk has no finish line. That's the beautiful and terrifying thing. The work of being fully full citizens of what this country promised is a day renegotiation, and the walk is what we daily return to. Not because we're close, but because stopping is the only failure. Every generation dropping the baton is the catastrophe. So we keep running, even when the running hurts. Common's drumming of this message through his catalog since '92. The long walk is the love act. I believe that's true, not the romantic version only. All the love, the difficult patience, the choosing someone above your comfort. The long walk is choosing the culture above the comfort of surrendering. The sculptor keeps returning to the stone. The MC keeps returning to the cipher. The long walk is the learning that never ends, and I'm grateful for the road, even when it's heavy, especially when it's heavy. That's the O. Keep walking. The road keeps you honest.
Large pro on the boards. Cipher souls. 4 voices, 1 cipher. Somebody open the circle. They don't
build statues for the living. Only the departed get the bronze. So everything I give is while I'm hard, it's filled with breath and purpose. I don't need the posthumous. The marble monument, the legacy is glorious, but the living is more urgent. What I'm building in the present doesn't need to wait for the future's reassessment of my value. I will claim it while the pulse is in the wrist, while the pen is in the hand, and the cipher still exists as a breathing congregation, not a historical society, not a dusty archive with the velvet rope propriety or something over. This is living culture in the now, and every verse I bring is the renewal of the vow. No statues for the living. Give me witness, give me present. Give me someone in the room who hears the message as it's being transmitted, not preserved in amber. That's the ask. Be here, step into the chamber. Be here, step into the chamber. The monument is a monument because the builder's gone. The beauty and the tragedy of statues they live on. When the person they were cast from can no longer see the face they tried to capture. The philosophy of legacy is fascinating, but I'm interested in the now, in the room where the music's being made, in the how of the present making, not the future looking backward at who I was. I want the cipher to go forward through me actively, not through the echo of my absence. So I'm spending every day building the adjacent space to what I've already made. The next room, not the monument, the growing, not the tomb. A reputation, common understood the living as the art form, not the record. The daily giving of yourself to the work, regardless of the outcome. No statues for the living, I'm the living. Let me come. Let me come. Let me come. Let me come. They'll put your face on the mirror when you're in the ground. Before that, all they do is turn the volume down on everything you're trying to say while you're present. I know the culture. The posthumous assessment becomes kinder than the living version ever got. Don't wait until I'm gone to give me what I brought to the table while I'm at it. The recognition is more useful to the living than the contrition of a eulogy. I know how this goes. I seen it play out 100 times in the rows of the pews at services for MCs who were told no when they needed yaks, and then when they got old or gone, the world remembered them as visionaries. Give me the flowers now, skip the mortuaries and the retrospectives. I'm here and I'm creating. No statues for the living, but acknowledgement ain't waiting. No statues for the living, but acknowledgement ain't waiting. I'm built enough to know the building isn't the point. The act of building is every session, every joint of connection with the craft is the thing, not the archive. The moment at the mic is where you most alive, not in the replay. I've made peace with the impermanence of living. The monument is for the permanence that the living can't quite occupy, so be it. I take the temporary. Every cipher I can see it in the faces of the people as the music moves through them. That's the statue I was made for. The residue them carrying home in their chest after the session ends. No monument survives that, and the argument defends itself. The living don't need bronze, they need the room to keep creating without the shadow of the tomb of legacy casting cold on the present work. No statues for the living. I've been doing the work. No statues for the living. No statues for the living. Give us the cipher. While the cipher still in motion. Give us the room. Give us the sound. Give us the devotion of the present tense. The now is where we live. No statues for the living. What we build, what we give.
We're all on borrowed time. The question is what you build with the loan. I'm aware of all that. I'm aware of it now, in a way I wasn't at 20. That the clock has a number and the number isn't plenty, it's specific. I don't know the digit, but I know that the finite nature of the time changes the flow of everything. Priorities rearrange themselves. The urgent things that aren't get put back on the shelves. The things that are, the people and the purpose and the art, move to the center. The borrowed time is smart, it clarifies. Scarface understood this from a young age, living in conditions where tomorrow wasn't guaranteed on stage or off at that proximity. The consequence made him the most honest MC. The truth couldn't evade him because he couldn't afford the comfort of the lie when the borrowed time could come to collect it any night or morning. So he wrote from the knowledge of the finite, and the music that came out of that was one of the highlights. Borrowed time, that's all any of us hold. Borrowed time, that's the secret the dying told. Make it count not for the monument, but for the truth. Borrowed time, and what you do with it is the proof. I made a calculation sometime around 35 of everything I spent my borrowed time to survive versus everything I spent it to create and give. The math was uncomfortable. I had a lot to live into, a lot of debt to the purpose I was given, that I'd been deferring for the comfort of the driven. Routine, the safety of the structure without the risk of the full reach. Borrowed time put me on the list of reckoning with what I've been avoiding. I went back to the earliest thing I cared about before the track of career and commerce colonized the original impulse. Back to the reason the borrowed time convulses into clarity when you sit still with it. Nas I Am showed us that even at the peak the telegram from mortality had reached him. I am because I think, and I think because my time is borrowed. At the brink of every great work is the knowledge that the loan will be collected. Borrowed time, that's all any of us hold. Borrowed time, that's the secret the dying told. Make it count not for the monument, but for the truth. Borrowed time, and what you do with it is the proof. Now I build differently with the knowledge in my hands. The borrowed time has made me more deliberate in my plans. For every song, this track had to be the truest thing I'd written about the subject. Had to have the ring of something that I'd earned the right to say, not borrowed from the theory of mortality, but properly swallowed and metabolized. The lived experience of the hours, changing shape as you get older. How the powers you once spent on proving yourself redistribute slowly to something quieter and holy, more essential. I build now for the long after, not for the immediate reaction. For the chapter of the book they read when I'm not here to read it with them. For the moment when the music hits a listener system. 20 years from now and carry something true. That's the building worth the borrowed time. That's my clue. Every bar a payment on the loan. Every bar a payment on the loan. Every song I'm building before the bank comes. Every bar. My brother. This one's for the ones who didn't make it out. For the sons who fell, so others could stand. I carry every one of them, don't think I don't. Every face from every corner, every night I won't. Let the years make the faces go soft. In the memory, the cost of the life we lived. I keep the inventory complete. Every name, every mother, every child left behind when the block collected its times. Wow, it's specific and without ceremony, just here. And then not here in the absence is a permanent gear. In the machine of who I am, I'm built around a mission. The architecture of my chest includes the hissing empty space where brothers used to fill at DMX. Understood the animal grief that doesn't dress itself in what it should be. Proper, it just housed, and the how was the prayer that nobody else provided for the men who weren't there. In the pew with the bouquet face in the memorial program. The ones from the street needed something, so I am that something. This verse is the how they deserve for every son of the block who fell before they could serve.
Everything they were put here to give.
Sons of the fallen,
We carry what they drop.
sons of the fallen,
The loving never stops. Underneath the armor, underneath the code.
sons of the fallen,
Bearing all the weight of the road. They didn't get to finish, we'll finish it for them.
sons of the fallen.
This is the requiem.
The code said don't show it, so we held it in the jaw, clenched it, moving through the function of the daily raw. Survival while the grief sat in the chest, collecting interest on the debt of feelings. Philly boys know the witness of standing at the casket of a young man who shouldn't be there, and translating all of that into the stare that becomes the posture, that becomes the armor. But underneath the armor is the farmer, genuine love. We love these people fully, in the only language that the block gave us truly. Present, showing up, having someone's back, putting something on the line, and when they don't come back from where the line ran out, we carry it. The marrying, the grief, the loyalty is it. Beanie said the truth, and the truth was he was hurting under all the Philly ice. The fallen was converting into something permanent, and all of us who witness, sons of the fallen testifying this is business.
Of the soul, not the street, we love them, full stop, that's enough. We carry what they drop.
Sons of the fallen,
The loving never stopped. Underneath the armor, underneath the code.
sons of the fallen,
Bearing all the weight of the road. They didn't get to finish, we'll finish it for them.
sons of the fallen.
This is the requiem.
The strongest thing a man can do in this context is name it. I loved them, I missed them, and I'm not ashamed of it. The code that says keep it internal was designed by the same conditions that took them. I'm inclined to break it, not for performance, but for the truth of what it means to lose someone before the proof of their potential could be gathered. The eulogies were always shorter than the life deserved. The elegy that I'm writing here is the full version. All the bars they had inside them, all the futures and the scars that were forming into something the block didn't get to see. Sons of the fallen, I believe in what they were going to be. I'm building it in the name with everything I've got. Every verse I write is for the verses that were not written by the ones who left before the work was done. This is for them, this is from the sons. Say their names, not just at funerals, while you're building. Say their names while you're building. I came back last October. Didn't tell anybody. Just walked. Yeah. Yeah. Park 2 blocks from where I used to sleep. The building's still standing, but the faces run deep, and it's strangers now. New families in the same old rooms, new children running through the same inherited fumes. A pipe steam and ambition in the low hum of the block. I stood outside the bodega where we used to talk till 3 a.m. about the future. Now the future's here, and it looks nothing like the picture, and more true, more clear than anything the dream contained. I walked the avenue slow, like water moving over stone. I let it come through, all of it. The corner where we lost Malik that June, the stoop where my mother sat and watched the rise and moon. On nights she couldn't sleep, I pressed my hand against the rail and felt the years inside the iron, felt the full detail of everything this block deposited inside of me before I knew it was a gift. Still water, finally.
Still water, after all the rushing, I came back to find the source of everything I built and can't get it back. Not to mourn it, just to see it, just to touch the wall. Still water,
Yeah.
and I finally understand it all.
A woman sweeping steps looked up and held my face, a long beat.
You came back. Like returning was a grace. She didn't complicate it further. Turned back to a broom. I stood there understanding something about the room of life is how we enter and we exit. In between those points, the block is witness to the whole unglamorous scene of becoming it. Don't judge it, it just holds the record in its walls, its sidewalk cracks, its memory sectored into summers and winters, into who was here and went, into the grief, the joy, the ordinary. I have been away long enough to see it without the wound of youth, to see the beauty and the damage simultaneously. The truth is both are real and neither cancels out the other. The block was beautiful and brutal, like a mother that did what she could with what she had. I ain't mad, I just needed to come back and hold the whole of it, the bad and good together in my chest before I move again. Still water tells you where you're from. That's where it ends.
Still water. After all the rushing, I came back to find the source of everything I've built and can't get back. Not to mourn it, just to see it, just to touch the wall. Still water, and I finally understand it all.
I left before the sun came up. No ceremony, no photographs, just a block in the early morning only. Lighting me walking back the way I came in, carrying the quiet of the still water. A thin but permanent line now between the before and after. Not a wound, a watermark, something in the texture of the way I move from here. I know where I came from, in a different register now. Not as burdened, not as numb, nostalgia, but it's bedrock. I am built from this particular ground, and that specificity is vehicular to everything I made. The music and the meaning, both are rooted in the block I left.
The still water cleaning.
What the years of distance clouded, I can see the floor of it now
Clear. And what I find there is the core.
We were real, it was real, every bit of it mattered.
Still water holds the whole truth.
Nothing lost,
Nothing scattered.
still water. That's where you came from. That's what you carry. That's enough.